there is a question first which I will take up. So this person asks that I always have many desires in my heart. So is it wrong to have desires? Yes, so desires per se, there is nothing wrong about desires. But I have to check whether it is a pure desire or an impure desire. So when you check with Srimad, so is that desire in accordance with what Baba is asking us to do, or is it motivated by a vice? Is that, so what is the root of that desire? Is it lust? Is it anger? Is it ego? Is it greed? Is it attachment? Is it fear? What is the seed of that desire? And the seed is, so it is the seed that you have to check. So, let's take a very simple example. You may have the desire to meet many people, but what is behind that desire? Is your desire to, satisfy your lustful vision? Or is it to connect emotionally with each other and be attached to other people, or draw your emotional sustenance from other people? Or is it just so that you can be with others and give Baba's message? So that's also there. And so you may have a desire, so let's say the desire to earn money, but earn money so that people consider you seriously and they take you as a person of wealth and position, and that feeds your ego? Or is it to sometimes people say that when I grow rich, then this person will be jealous, so I want to grow rich because of that? Or is it that you want to engage in activities that cost a lot, but they are all coming from a vicious place? So the other day I was talking in class about we read in we used to read in economics about the diamond water paradox. And in Kali Yuga, diamond is costly, water is free, yes, and water is useful, diamond is useless. So, and I just got this cue from the Murli Baba gave on Saturday, I think, where Baba talked about in Satyug, diamonds being free. So, diamonds would be very cheap. Or even in Dwapar Yuga, when the Somnath temple was built, Baba said that diamonds wouldn't be that costly at that time. So, you see, it's this whole change where everything that is useful is free and everything that is not useful is very costly. Or sometimes even not useful also, and sometimes things that harm you are very costly. Things that make you an addict, things that make you drown in sensual pleasure are very costly these days. And usually when we talk about a lot of wealth, then it is our desire to engage in this kind of stuff, where our senses would be drowned in sensual pleasure. And so when you talk about, so what I feel is that wealth is important, but then how much wealth is a question of, when it comes to need, your needs can be fulfilled with very little. And if you have a desire of, more wealth, then it can come from a place for seva. So maybe, there is a, so if there is things that you want to do for service which require wealth, so that is okay. But then otherwise, I don't think that too much wealth is ever required, because what do you have to do? Live in a place, eat, drink, that much doesn't require a lot of money. So everything that you desire, I have to check the root of the desire. Is the root a vice? Is the root greed, lust, attachment, whatever? So let's take, so there was this one, so I will also give you some practical examples about this. So there was this one Mata, and she told me that I want to leave my husband because when I've come to Baba and I realize that I want to lead my life in a certain way, then my husband doesn't allow it. So I said, okay, he doesn't allow you, but then what does he do to show his resistance? So she said, he just abuses. So I said, okay, that's so just abuses like verbally. So she said, yes, verbal abuse. So I said, okay, and tomorrow if you leave the husband and you go and live in a place where there is a neighbor who physically abuses you, then not physically, sorry, verbally abuses you, sometimes when you're coming out of the house, getting into the house, they will say, who are these people? They have come and they live alone and I don't know what they do and what they're up to and this and that. Then what do you do? So she said, no, it's not like that. And then, we had this conversation, and slowly, gradually, I realized that it is not because of Baba, it is because of some other relationship that she's into, that she wants to leave the husband. And that became very clear after some moments of conversation. So you see, sometimes, we even say we don't like this situation, we don't like this person, but if so what is your intention behind leaving it? Because if you think that, so in English we say we always say that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, but the grass is not greener. So it's not like you run away from one situation, then another situation will not cause the same trouble. It will. But usually our desire to run away from a situation is motivated by a vice. So it is some lust, some greed, something, so you think that that person will give you something, or this is going to happen. So then, when you are motivated by these vices, then you end up in a more difficult situation once you run away from the present one. So Baba says that we have to understand that we are in situations, we are with people right now, and there are karmic settlements. Every soul has had 63 births of Vikarma. So we have to use virtues, knowledge and powers to continue where we are. And let's say you think that if there is a pure motivation, so let's say there is an opening where somebody is offering you, somebody's so there is a platform where you can use your resources better and serve and that kind of thing, then maybe you take that decision. But then if there is not, then don't fall into these traps. So Baba says that, there are these desires which are impure because they come from a place of being vicious, and then there are desires which are pure desires. What are pure desires? The desire to be disciplined, the desire to be, wake up early, the desire to be active, alert, the desire to be knowledgeful. So, reading avidly because you want to be knowledgeful, or the desire to use your resources in seva. All these are pure desires. But there is a very thin line, because only you know your motivations. Sometimes something might look like a very pure thing on the external and it might not be. And sometimes something may not look very pure on the external, but it could be. So only you know your motivations. But the interesting thing is, it is enough that you know your motivations, because anyways you are the one who will sow, you are the one who will reap. So it's okay if you know your motivations, you do your best. Even if somebody takes you rightly or wrongly, doesn't matter. So it's a very personal journey, and everybody has to check their heart about what are the desires, what are the motivations for those desires. And one thing we have to understand as a rule: impure desires will make you suffer in the beginning, middle and end. So impure desires, the nature of impure desires is such that they cause sorrow when they are unfulfilled, and they cause sorrow when they are fulfilled. So in both the cases they cause sorrow. So sometimes you have a desire that you have a desire for lust. So it causes you sorrow when it is unfulfilled, because you think that maybe if that desire is fulfilled, you will find some interesting thing on the other side. But then even when it is fulfilled, you suffer a lot. So because it is impure karma, so then that karma makes you suffer in myriad ways. So Baba says this is something that we need to understand. And what I want to talk from this journey's experience is that, when we are, so we have 24 hours every day. And in those 24 hours, so many seconds, and so many thoughts, and so many feelings. And obviously not all of them can be absolutely pure, right? So there will be many things from emerging from your sanskars. There are many things in our sanskars which have not been sorted or taken care of until now. So there will be many thoughts that will emerge, there will be many feelings, but the thing is, you have to you must know how much you have to meditate, how much yoga power you have to accumulate, or how much attention you have to pay during the day in staying introverted and in connected with Baba, so that those thoughts and feelings change. Because Baba's light and might have parivartan shakti. They can change, they can change your thoughts, they can change your feelings. But am I having that much yoga with Baba, that much love in my heart for Baba, that even when those sanskars emerge, I'm able to change that? Because if you're not engaging with Baba enough, then there is a tendency inside us to engage. So we all want to engage with something or the other. And if your engagement with Baba is not optimum, or I don't know whether it can be maximum, but at least optimum enough for everybody. So if your engagement with Baba is not optimum, then what happens is you start engaging with your impure sanskars and your impure feelings and your impure thoughts. And that is when you start giving power to it. And sometimes then, I don't know, out of some kind of body consciousness, you will also start sharing it, and then you will try to think about yourself as human and ordinary, and think that is it not okay and human and ordinary to think about these things. And then you will start taking pride in being human and ordinary. So these are very various ways in which Maya attacks us. So it is very important that you understand your karmic balance, you understand what is your residual impure sanskar load, yes, and then you have to have that much of silence time, practice of soul consciousness, staying introverted, remembrance of Baba. So, and when you are in remembrance of Baba, you are in this stage of subtlety on the inside, where you are able to check your thoughts and feelings. Sometimes when you're not in that subtle stage, when you're not in silence, when you're not in soul consciousness, then you are not able to discern those thoughts, and they change into feelings, they change into vociferous commentaries inside before you are even able to check them. And then you find yourself just having that incessant commentary inside, which is Maya's voice talking to you. So it's very important that you stay antarmukhi, you pay attention to being soul conscious, you pay attention to having yoga with Baba, being in remembrance of Baba, and generally having quiet time, very quiet, introverted time where you are internally connected with Baba. And that stage helps you to check your thoughts and change them. Because if you check them at the thought level, then change is very easy. But if they change into feelings and attitudes and then so many things, then it becomes very difficult to change. Even feelings, I'm not even talking about action. Sometimes people go up to action and then it becomes irreversible because the karma has already been created. But even on the level of feelings, when the thoughts change, it becomes relatively difficult to take care of them. So very important is this practice of staying introvert, and in that antarmukhi stage, staying subtle, I'm a soul and I'm with Baba. That stage of subtlety has to be there. And in that state, discerning and deciding to change becomes easier. So this is something that I shared from my own practice of how we deal with old sanskars, because there are old sanskars and I think they will remain till the end, but then it's okay. As you become more powerful, they start losing their power over you. So that's there. And there are many children who don't realize how many games Maya plays during the day, because if you're not aware every second, you will not even be able to know how many old sanskars are emerging and how many actions you're performing based on that. So this is also there. So this is about the question. And then in today's Murli, Baba says that you have to have first the faith that it is Shiv Baba himself, not a bodily being, who is teaching you. And so, you know, in bhakti, we did something very interesting, which is we didn't pay attention to the teaching, we just paid attention to the teacher. Okay, so we had a relationship with Buddha and Jesus and with the books, but so, you know, we venerate the book, not the teaching. So we have this practice in bhakti, and I think we get fed up when we come up to this phase in Gyan. And then when we come to Gyan, we have no interest in the teacher, only in the teaching. So what we do is, when Baba comes, then I think there is this balance which is off, and here we start taking the teachings and we pay attention to the teaching. So, so in the Murli today, this came and that came and the other came. We have this language. So, you know, Murli mein aaj ye aaya, Murli mein aaj ye aaya. But we forget the teacher. We forget Shiv Baba most of the time. And then we are trying to, so here in Gyan, it is connection and love with the teacher which will give you the power to imbibe the teaching. And in bhakti, even if you loved the teacher had no power to give you. But here it is the teacher that we have to love, and it is the connection with Baba which will give me the strength to imbibe the teaching. So it is very important that I understand that Shiv Baba is God the Almighty. And I think that we don't get this enough. So even though, you know, theoretically, yes, we have agreed and accepted that this is God, but we don't live in that awareness that this is Baba with me. And if you don't remember that, then obviously the intoxication of having Baba with you will not be there. And if there is no intoxication, then how do you draw that strength from Baba? So let me give you a very simple example which will make you understand this. So in the world today, there are children who have parents who are masters in their field. So, you know, maybe a parent is a psychiatrist or a physicist or a geologist or a doctor. But those children, they cannot take benefit from the parent. So the parent is a psychiatrist and the child is a mental health patient. And the parent is a doctor and the child has all unhealthy habits and lifestyle. And the parent is a physicist and the child doesn't know anything about physics, zero in physics. So that happens because no faith in the parent. So the parent can give you so much, but you don't recognize that your parent can give you that much, and you are struggling for the same thing which is available at home. And similarly, you know, when Baba comes, I know, and you know, there is this one thing that Baba sometimes says in the Murli, children don't use me enough. And that's because we don't realize who is with me and who is teaching me, who has adopted me. And it is the who, that knowing of who is Baba. That is why Baba says, those who know me as I am, they can have accurate yoga with me. So, know me as the Almighty, as the all-powerful, as the purifier. So, we know these titles, but that knowing doesn't sit in our heart very much, I think. So, that is something that Baba says today. And then Baba says, so, there are many children, I'm not talking about people of the world, there are many Baba's children also who will sometimes say, when will there be destruction and when will Satyug come? And so it's like, so let me tell you one simple thing that I've observed in life. You always think that tomorrow will be better. You always think that tomorrow will be better, but sometimes, today is very good, maybe the best, but this idea that tomorrow is always better doesn't allow you to see what's today. And this is a very deep sanskar we have. We are always waiting for tomorrow. Are we not? In the world also, we are always running, chasing, waiting for tomorrow, anticipating. This is what we are doing. We are not living. And Baba says, right now you are in the diamond age. Tomorrow you will be in the golden age. And you are asking, you are wishing that the diamond age with Baba should end and the golden age should come. And Baba says, and you are also insulting me on the side by asking a guest when he would leave. But we don't realize that because we are so fixated with this idea that tomorrow will always be better than today. No. Today is the best. So, Baba today asks a very interesting question. Baba says, for as long as Shiv Baba is here, you children are happy, are you not? So, when Baba is here, are we not the happiest? Let me ask myself this. And if I'm not happy today, then I doubt whether we'll be happy tomorrow or not. Today we have these Gyan Ratan to play with and so much of knowledge, and we have Baba's love, guidance, so many things. And if we are not happy in this diamond age, what is causing us trouble in this diamond age? What is it that is troubling you? Yes, what is it that you want to change? If you ask me, I would like this life to continue forever. That is, it's okay that, the drama will change, and that also we will accept gracefully. But then this life with Baba is the most wonderful, because yes, of course, there are karmic settlements, there is everything. But what is a karmic settlement when you have Baba? When you have Baba's knowledge, when you have Baba's powers. And I think that Baba has given us this amazing ability to put a full stop. And put a full stop, go in, go up, and be with Baba. And when you have this amazing ability, then whatever is on the outside, how does it matter? Because you know how to put a full stop, become a point, and remember Baba. And in that remembrance, you know how to experience all the treasures of this Brahmin life. The love, the peace, the happiness, the bliss, the joy, everything you you can experience in remembrance of Baba. So Baba says, this beautiful life in Baba's companionship, and if you're not happy in this life, then what will you be happy in? So I think that, this is something that Baba says, and please enjoy your Brahmin life. And Brahmin life is a life, so have you seen that? So, when I used to, as a kid, when I used to see those images of deities, so I was in Odisha, and in Odisha there is this Durga Puja, which is celebrated with a lot of fanfare, and then I would go and see the deities there. So I used to think, this Durga Ma, she has to hold everything all the time, and yet she is so all her 8 hands are busy all the time, and then yet she's so light and happy and powerful. So we are those deities who cannot relax. Like, we have to hold everything all the time. So I have to stay in awareness. I have to keep my knowledge, Baba's knowledge and powers and virtues emerged. So this is a life of awareness, but nevertheless it is the best life that we can have. So the only thing that we have to take care of is live in awareness. Have all your ornaments and all your powers and virtues emerged. That's it. And then you are a deity right now. Baba says that in the Murli, Baba today says everything that you celebrate in bhakti is happening right now. Everything that you celebrate in bhakti is happening right now, and this is the time which you are celebrating. And think about all the mythological stories that you watch in amazement and wonder. It gives you so much of entertainment. All that is happening to you right now. So you are the one. So would you like a story, a mythological story, where the deity is powerful and doesn't have to fight? So there is always this fighting when there is power. So Baba says there is this fight with Maya, of course, but then you have the powers and the virtues. So when you see a battle between deities and devils, you enjoy it. Yes, because you know who is going to be the clear winner. So Baba says, in this life, all that is happening in real time. All that you talked about in bhakti, the scriptures you studied, everything is happening in real time. Shiv Baba is here, Shaktis are here, the war is here, the battle is going on, everything is happening. And Baba says, you are those characters you celebrated so much in bhakti, and why don't you like this time? So Baba says, you like the stories, and why don't you like the real play that's going on? So this is something. And then today Baba also talks about the drama. And in the Murli, many times in the Murli, Baba mentions that everything happens according to the drama. And even Baba cannot do anything which is not in the drama today. So, and let me ask you one question. Those of you who are less than 10 years old in Gyan, if I ask you, 10 years back, could you ever think that you will be sitting here and listening to knowledge and nodding your head away? No. So you see how powerful drama is. So when the time comes, you start doing things which you couldn't imagine yesterday. And sometimes, yesterday and today are so different that today when you sit at the end of the day and think, you know that if somebody told you this would happen tomorrow and you would respond like this, you would never have believed it. But today that's all happening. So Baba says, drama brings out that which is within you. And it is within you. And Baba says that, everybody's part is different. And then there is also drama. So Baba says, I also have a part, and I cannot tell you today what I'm going to tell you tomorrow, because that will emerge in me tomorrow. Just like you can't do today what you're supposed to do tomorrow. So, tomorrow you will do tomorrow, today you will do today. That's how the drama goes. But Baba says, trust the drama, and the drama, and we are here sitting before Baba, listening about the truth and the inheritance. So definitely we are the ones who are going to become a deity. So Baba says, as the drama also, so Baba's knowledge inspires us, drama pushes us. And then when both the things come together, you become a deity. And Baba says, just allow your drama also to be the way it is. And when you are, so this word drama is very nice, because in the world also, when there is a drama and there is an actor in that drama, then what does he have to do? So there is a whole script, and then every actor has to go according to their script. So you are given your lines, your script, that you have to act, and you have to keep the whole drama in your buddhi, and then you have to be a witness, a sakshi to other people's lines. So Baba says, everybody has their own part, they will play their own part. You be sakshi, you be a detached observer there, and in regard to your part, you play your part, and you cannot play your part untimely. So when the time comes, you play your own part, and drama will tell you what part to play, but your effort is to rehearse your lines well. And what are the lines? The gyan that Baba is giving us, and the yoga that he is teaching us, and the purity that he is teaching us. So we have to make effort to be ready. So our readiness for Sangam Yug, for Satyug, lies in imbibing the knowledge that Baba is giving, having yoga power, imbibing the power of purity, imbibing the power of good wishes and blessings, and we stay ready with it, and then the drama will tell you how to act, and you will act. Okay, so this is what Baba is telling us. Om Shanti.